Hello my dudes, welcome back to the Siege of Littleton. Last episode, we set up some pretty cool create traps, put them through their paces, and, well, it didn't work out so well. I don't think the traps worked very well killing raiders, but they were really good at killing our own guards. That really sucks. So I've turned them off for now, but you guys have made some amazing suggestions for some really cool traps and things we can do to slow down raiders when raids happen. So I'll go through the comments and approach that next episode. But this episode, we want to talk about food. As you can see behind me, we set up a second restaurant, but it's a bit quiet over here. It might be because the cook is, well, he looks really grumpy. I don't know about you guys, but I would not trust this guy to make me a cheeseburger. I think he probably put like his own homemade mayo in the hamburger, if you know what I mean. But not only food, there's a couple of things we have to fix around the colony. Problems pop up here and there. So this episode is Diagnosis Colony. Let's jump in and see what's going on. So what are the best ways to fix problems on your colony, Stanian, Lycaean? Well, number one, you can always go over to these red cogwheels. If there's ever a problem on your colony, the colonists are usually the best guys to ask for what's going on. Lady recruit over here, what's your problem? Yeah, here we go. She's eating the same food every day. So we do need to work on a way to get different food into these restaurants. It's going to be a bit more complicated than I thought, but Minecolonies does give you all the buildings. What other problems do we have? Well, let's take a look at our clipboard. This shows you a breakdown of everything everybody wants on the colony. So number one, let's start from the top and go all the way to the bottom. The warehouse wants arrows. I know we're getting loads of feathers, and the gravel is coming from our gravel grinding setup and going into the warehouse, turning it into flint. But it looks like, yeah, the Fletcher is stuck on getting sticks. So let's head on over to Fletchy and see what's going on over there. Now I think this is the Fletcher's hut. All these buildings look the same, so it can be a bit difficult working things out. But here it is, Lady Black Lily, our star Fletcher. How's it going? What's your problem?
Can I help you?
Her problem is, again, more food. We'll work on that. But what's going on over here in the hut? And there it is. This is the problem, right? So she can't actually make sticks. So we come over here, and this makes a bit more sense. We don't actually... Oh, we do have a carpenter. It's Raznik. Get on over here, Raz. We want you to make us some sticks, but oh, right. So we haven't properly configured our sawmill to make sticks. That makes a lot of sense. So if we drag spruce logs into here, I think 2 logs makes you 16 sticks. That's a good recipe. But also, I mean, we should be getting like all the logs into all the woods. And there we go. As soon as we put in the sticks recipe, over in the tasks tab at the carpenter, yeah, Raznik is hard at work. Good job, my friend. And that is the Fletcher and the arrows back on track. Next up. So here is a big problem. The farmers all want hoes, but it looks like they're asking for netherite hoes. That is straight up bonkers. Why would a farmer want a netherite hoe? Well, there's one way we can make sure they don't ask for netherite hoes. That's by going over to the blacksmith over here. And again, over here in the blacksmith's hut, we're going to go to crafting recipes and make sure that these netherite recipes are disabled. And there we go. That should hopefully solve a lot of problems. And to reset these requests, we can always go over here to cancel, I think. And this should turn off. There we go, and there go the hoe recipes. But I do want to hook these guys up with a good hoe. So I'll go and grab some stuff. And you know what? Iron hose is probably great for them right now. So over here at the post box, and we'll request 8 iron hose. Boom. Meanwhile, in our stash, it looks like, yeah, we are getting gravel coming through our system. Very good. Okay, next on the list. Well, now that we've cancelled the request for hose, I think that's freed up the blacksmith, and he is going to be slowly churning through these leggings and chest plates and things that the guards want. Luckily enough, though, there's only a very few guard towers that actually want gear. So the next thing to think about is fuel. Okay, now I'm surprised we haven't done fuel before now. I've been manually putting charcoal into the warehouse, but it sounds like the restaurants are out of fuel, which is never a good place to be. So we're going to come over to the university now and take a look at some research. Here we go. How's it going, my brave, studious, researching buddies. Now we've done a lot of research between episodes, and let me run down what we've upgraded so far. So our guards are tricked out to the nines. They've got all the level 4 research they can possibly need. They're duelists, they've got night training and multi-shot. They run away and take less damage when they do. There's telescope, which is a pretty big one. Farther rallying banner range, we will do that pretty soon. There's also arrow piercing, and our knights have been upgraded to massive cleave damage. Pretty cool. Coming over to civilian, and we have upgraded to village, so we can have up to 150 dudes now. That's pretty big. We've also researched these food recipes that make sure that when our colonists do eat, they get the most out of their meals. Very important. And we've done some health research to give our citizens more health. That's always good. We also, like I said, maxed out this tree that increases child growth rate. This is a better choice for big colonies where you're focusing on massive amounts of numbers, rather than very few specialized dudes. So that's all well and good for civilian and combat, but what about technology? In anticipation of solving our food problems, we upgraded a lot of the farming related researches. We've got Green Revolution, so the crops grow outwards in offshoots. This is a really big research that really speeds up your farms. We've also got bone meal, dung, and compost. Each of these gives a 10, 15, and 25% boost to crops. That's huge. But the problem we're looking to solve is the fuel problem. We need to get some more charcoal. The stone smelter is the building that turns wood, weirdly, into charcoal. It's not stone, but it still smelts up into something that's kind of stone-like. Coal is really just like black rock, right? Sure. So the flintstones, 64 bricks, pretty cheap. We've got a stonemason already at level 1, so we can get this research locked in. And yeah, here we go. Technology, the flintstones, a stack of brick, and we're locked in. We'll worry about the other researches later, but for now, yeah, the stone smelter is a big one. Once that research completes, we can crack on with that, and that is fuel taken care of. The next big thing, look at this. The libraries all want paper. Now, this is a request, but it's not exactly an important one because, yeah, really our libraries only exist as a place for people to hang out while they wait for other jobs. We're not too worried about colonists leveling up really well and getting loads of paper in the colony for a couple of reasons. The big one is life expectancy over here in the town of Dunselberg. It's not very long. I mean, when the raids happen, it is apocalypse and everyone dies. So we're not too worried about people staying alive and leveling up. So paper is something we can ignore. Let's crack on with setting up some more food options. Now, happy news, I think. Yeah, let's take a look. Our hoes have arrived. We can give these directly to the farmers. But I think since we kind of solved the problem with the blacksmith, our farmers probably have hoes already.
You are so wise.
Oh yeah, look at this. So the farmer has a steel hoe. Very good. Yeah, these problems have been solved, so we'll just dump the hose in a couple of these inventories. That should help them out a little bit. There we go. Mischief managed, and the farmers are going crazy, getting all these crops sowed, tilled, and brought up to speed. Now we've got all the mage bloom we need, and this setup down here looks really messy. What we could do though, we have 3 farms and we have 8 fields. We could turn this into 4 more fields, just like this, to get us even more crops for even more food. We could also stand to get a few more of these composter huts because these guys are all configured to go through the massive, massive surplus of cactus we have. In fact, I have loads in my backpack because you just gather this walking around. And yeah, here we go. There's some cactus. Get to work. So yeah, let's clear out this stuff over here and turn it into some nice farms. So this is a nice amount of area outside the front of the composters. In fact, oh, that's where my horse got to. Hello, Spots. How's it going? But this area is a bit too big. We don't need this much room. However, yeah, over here behind the existing fields, let's just put 4 more fields over here. And this should be enough fields to feed all of our farms. 3 farms at level 4 is 12 fields, so we're good to go. Yeah, here we are, locked and loaded. So the question is now, what kind of seed do we want inside these farms? It's a really good question, a big question. To answer it, we're going to have to look inside the crafting menu and work out what kind of food we want to supplement our colonists with. Now we're looking for high-level food that we can actually grow, and not all crops are available to us. Now a stuffed pita looks like it could be one of the good ones for us. We'll need eggplants, which is growable for us. Very good. We've already got onions and garlic on the grow, but we'll also need tomatoes too. That's all well and good. The big one though is flatbread. How do we make flatbread? Well, again, that's also simple. With some durum wheat, we can get a baker to make that. A pita works up to a cookery level 4, so it's a solid food, and it works for level 4 and 5 colonists. Now it's important to remember, look at this. This recipe is only available between buildings level 4 and 5, so it doesn't work for people that live in levels 1, 2, and 3 houses. So you do still need the lower level food for your lower level houses. That's good to know. But let's get this configured. So we're looking for eggplants over here. Good to go. We're looking for tomato. Good to go. Then over on the other side, we're going to look for some durum wheat. There we go. And the last crop, now if we're building a bakery, that opens us up to a whole bunch of stuff. We could also get this stuff, a schnitzel, because we have loads of pork chop. We're getting eggs as well. We're getting potatoes, and we're getting durum wheat. But what is manchit bread? Manchit bread is manchit dough. Right, butter. And butter is all about the cows. Okay. But it does mean there's going to be a couple of recipes that need durum wheat. So I reckon let's make sure this is again durum wheat. There we go. And that's lots of durum for our future baker to work with. Already you can see these 2 fields have been, tilled by our farmers. They're hard at work. Oh man, amazing. So what's the next step? Well, we've configured our farms. Let's work towards the goal of this new food we're making. It's both schnitzels, so we'll add it on the left, but it was also the stuffed pita. So let's work our way through these problems. Now, number 1, to get the pita, we just need water. Water is a bakery, so let's crack on and make ourselves 2 bakeries. Now, why are we going for 2? Well, I think just because food is going to be a big problem and we need to make sure we double our output on almost all foods. A bakery is a simple craft as well, so making 2 of these is not a problem whatsoever. Let's go and find a place for our bakeries to live. Now let's map this out. So we've got the crafting area over here. This area became food growth. If we put another farm in, it'll be over here, and composters over there. This area down here, we have 2 restaurants and we have the cookery. So maybe this area behind it could be good for bakeries. This will be the food zone. Let's go and plan something out. Yeah, this area behind the cookery, which is a bit rough around the edges at the moment, got some floating bits, but I think we can put a couple of bakeries here and this will look quite good. What do these things look like? Let's take a look. So they are in, where are they? Fundamentals? No, are they a craftsmanship? Luxury? Looks like they are. So the bakery, what does this thing look like from the Littleton style? This is Bilbo's Bakery. Wait, this isn't the Shire. Well, whatever. So level 1, okay, fair enough. But level 5, oh, whoa, what's that on top? That looks really cool. I think it's like supposed to be a turbine windmilly thing, like a vertical windmill. Well, that works. So we're going to put these in position, back them up against the cookery. That's going to look quite good. I'll get the build of the materials, and I'll see you guys for the time-lapse build of these bakeries. So double buildings looks like it is going to be the way for us going forwards, especially when it concerns food, because we need so much food in the colony. It kind of makes me realize maybe double buildings for other things would be ideal as well. For example, the blacksmith, we go through so many guards that maybe double blacksmith would be a better shout. Likewise, we've had so many deaths that I think double gravekeeper, in fact, maybe even triple gravekeeper, would be much better as well. But there's no way I could have anticipated that, so I think one will be fine. Now, Lyra did get a bit stuck, but apart from that, these buildings went up, no problems whatsoever. And upgrading these bad boys to level 4 was a paltry thing, so easy. So here we go, 2 level 4 bakeries. Okay, so the exciting part now, let's go and hire some bakers. This is where it's really cool having so many students because we have so many people to choose from now. Having a lot of colonists on the colony, oh man, it's a luxury. So we're looking for someone with good knowledge of bakery. So I think Quipple's Gold brand is going to be #1 baker. You're going to get over here. What do you look like? Looking pretty cool, Quipples. And over on the other one, we're going to get the next guy. I think it's Salem Withers. Manage workers. Where are you, Salem? Yeah, Salem Withers with a knowledge of 10. That's pretty good. Get on over here. A bakery has to be given some fuel, and charcoal and coal start by default as on. Pretty good. And smelting recipes, well, they come with a few by default. For example, manchit bread from manchit dough is here by default. Pretty cool. There's also muffins, pretty cool. Bread. And some vanilla things like pumpkin pie, cookies, and cakes. Delicious. Oh, but it looks like we've actually done the research now to get the stone smeltery in position. These guys are going to need fuel if they're to do their baking, so let's go and get the stone smeltery set up. Now, I don't think we're going to need a lot of fuel, so I think 1 stone smeltery at level 4 should provide us with all the coal and charcoal, all the charcoal we're likely to need. The question is where? Now, this is our crafting area, so I'm thinking somewhere around here. Maybe we'll have to replace these stone ruins. Yeah, you know what? I think where these stone ruins are will make the perfect spot for our stone smelter. Let's get this in position. Like all other Littleton buildings, the stone smelter is nice and small. Love to see it. It's Smegwold's. What a name, Smegwold. Anyway, this is Smegwold's stone smelter. We'll find a place for this, and then let's get it built. The stone smelter took a little bit longer to build because we thought, you know what? Lyra's a big girl now. She's leveled up quite far. We've got some decent pickaxes on the colony and some good tech towards improving her build speed. So I thought I'd let her clear out the land for this. Kind of as good practice, but also builders level up doing what they do. So it's always a good idea to let the builders do things instead of you doing them, if you have the time to spare. The stone smelter is a very primitive building. All it really does is smelt stone. So cobblestone into stone. It turns, I think, deep slate into cobbled deep slate, or the other way around. I believe it also turns netherrack into nether bricks. It's also where you make bricks from clay, and essentially for us, it's where you turn wood into charcoal, which is a bit of a weird one, but that's how it works. Every level of the stone smeltery gets you another furnace, so at level 4 the stone smelter should get 4 furnaces, and those plowing away generating charcoal, that's going to be more than enough. That's plenty for us to get going with. Like with all buildings in the Littleton style, it looks like absolute dog poo at level 1, but at level 4, it's coming alive. It's not quite level 5, but it's well on the way. So very exciting times. Let's go and get this bad boy set up. We're going to look for a new stone smelter. And again, oh, wow, athletics. Why does a stone smelter need to be athletic? I feel like that's probably a question I've asked before, but it looks like Dejaron Hart at level 11 athletics is pretty high. Now, as you can see, the intelligence on all these babies, all these new colonists, is much higher than most. because that's what these guys learn at the library, and it lets them level up quicker. So, Sjin, get on over here. Looking very cool. Now, this little infographic on the building shows you exactly what it can do. So, stone into stone brick, cobblestone into stone, clay into terracotta, and clay into bricks. What it doesn't show you, though, is the fact that this thing can create, if we teach it the recipe, charcoal. It doesn't come with a recipe by default, though, because there's a lot of different types of logs you can use. Now, spruce is the common one for us. So there we go. Spruce logs into charcoal. This guy should get busy straight off the bat. In fact, I'm thinking a courier should be already on the way with some spruce to get this guy going on some charcoal. Let's take a look. Any couriers on their way? Should be arriving any second. In fact, I think there's one right now, Lady Longdong. Wow, there's 3 of them. They were all out of work, I suppose. These could be guards, but I think they're couriers. Yeah, here they are. Look at these guys come along. Boom, the system works. Always good to see your colony working efficiently. So we'll leave Sjin to it. And there we go. So we're getting charcoal. The next thing we need to think about is getting glass. So we have a bakery. He can turn water into bottled water as long as he has the glass bottles. That's why it was important we did the glass blowing research for the glass blower's hut, and that's another building we're going to park right next to this stone smelter. So let's go and make one. Oh, we might have to sleep through the rain though. So the glass blower's hut, man, this is building packed this episode, but let's see what this thing looks like. It should be luxury. There it is, glass blower. At level 1, oh, it's a very open plan building. I like that. But it sounds like somebody doesn't. What does it look like at level 4 though? Oh, okay, yeah, that's very nice. I like that a lot. So I think, yeah, right next to our existing stone smelter should be good. This is going to overwrite the remains of the ruins, so that should be okay. Level 1, let's get this built. So the glass blower's hut. The glass blower basically has 2 functions. Number 1, they turn sand into glass, which is, a big job. We'll have to find a way to get sand, but I think we can probably use our crusher and cobblestone generator setup to also get sand. I think if you grind gravel again, it turns into sand. So sand won't be an issue, I don't think. The other thing it does is turn that glass into various glass-based products. And the big one for us is going to be glass bottles. Now there's a unique bottle for Minecolonies called the large bottle. I'm not quite sure why it exists, because regular glass bottles are just fine. And it's also hard to make, but also glass is used to bottle milk as well. And we are going to need a cowhand's hut to get a reliable way of getting milk. I thought about building like a factory out of Create to get milk into bottles. But the more I looked at it, the more I realized that was going to be a really, really complicated affair. But if we can get 3, maybe 4 cowhands, all at level 4, full of cows, dedicated to milk, so not killing the cows, I think honestly Minecolonies will still be a quick enough way for us to get a lot of milk. Anyway, there we go, the glass smeltery now level 4, looking amazing. Let's get it configured. So let's get this bad boy configured, level 4 now. As you can see, we did connect up the paths. So it's kind of on its way there. We'll do a bit more to connect these buildings properly, but things are looking pretty good. Let's recruit a glass blower. We need someone with big lungs. I'm looking for someone with like a massive chest. Who do we think has a massive chest that they can blow up 1,000,000 balloons all in one go? Oh, it looks like Cindy has a massive chest with 12 creativity. So we're going to get her over here. Boom, you are our new glass blower. Hello, Cindy. Let's put that massive chest to work and make some glass bottles. So we'll have to go into crafting recipes and teach her the recipe for bottles. There it is. She's the one for this. But also, like I said, Minecolonies comes with these weird recipes for large bottles. And honestly, I don't quite know why. If you look at the large water bottle, it's used for, let's say, mint jelly. But if you also go to the recipe, Aha, right. So large water bottles are the only thing that can be used for certain things. So it's probably a good idea to teach her this recipe. We'll make sure it's not avocado slabs, because who has avocado slabs? What the hell is that? Sounds like some kind of millennial wood. Spruce slabs is the one for us. The carpenter knows how to make those. So boom, there we go. That's another recipe. Also, she needs to be able to make glass panes, so that's pretty important too. And there we go. That's the important things ticked off. She'll need her fuel. That's going to be charcoal. But that's about it. She's got smelter recipes and also cutter recipes, so you can help her out with the building. But apart from that, no, she is good to go. And that is where we're going to call it on this episode, my dudes. It's a bit of a party over at the glass blowers. We've got the builder. We've got Cindy, our glass blower itself, putting that massive chest into action, blowing those bottles. But also, the wandering trader has joined us with his llamas. Okay, great. So we're well on the way to getting loads more food in the colony. Next episode, we're going to focus on building the cowhands huts, so we can get loads and loads and loads of milk, and then we can finalize the recipes and get the best food in the colony. Also, next episode, what I want to look at is upgrading our traps. Like I said, we've turned off those saw blade traps because they killed more guards than raiders, and that's a no-no. Keep your ideas coming in, but the best way to share any ideas with me is to join our Discord. There's a link in the description if you want to pop along. We do all kinds of fun things there. We currently have a Valheim server, and we're all playing Valheim, so that's pretty fun. But there's also an All the Mods server that you can jump into. Yeah, there's lots going on there, so hop on and say hello. But a massive thank you for watching. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, and I'll see you next episode for some more Minecolonies. Until then, take care.